Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to another live stream here. We're going to be reacting to some stuff, I think. Boy, everyone's talking about that shooter, man, getting caught. Everyone is talking about that. Really, not many people. I mean, I guess this is a discussion, but it seems like everyone's talking about the shooting over this, the Jordan Neely thing. Can you react to Alan Lickman's stream tomorrow? It's straight coping. I mean, it's probably just liberal anger. He's been like, Trump's a fascist. I mean, I don't really see the point. Finally got on a stream early. What's up, man? The guy had 2 engineering degrees from Ivy League school. Was he even working as an engineer? Yeah. Did you see his X account? People have been his. It's funny how when someone commits a crime, and I'm sure you guys have noticed this, their X account just goes crazy, or their social medias. But it's like they can't actually tweet. So it's interesting how he probably had like 100 followers. He does the crime. Now he's got like 200K. I just wanted to say, as a Penn State fan, I don't have a problem with the seed for the playoffs. Yeah, Penn State got really lucky. There was always going to be a lower seed that got lucky, and it was Penn State. The shooter looked like a health nut. Why eating fast food? I mean, I think you're reading in. Listen, I understand there's going to be listen, with anything nowadays, it's always a conspiracy, and I get it, I do. But I mean, honestly, someone, you go to McDonald's every now and again, I guess. I don't think it's that crazy, but I don't know that much about that situation, honestly. I'm glad Daniel Penny is doing better, but I feel for him he's probably close to bankruptcy. No, they had a GoFundMe for him. They got like $3 million for him. I highly doubt he'll have any problems with that. If he just even if all that went to legal fees, he'll just start another one probably. I would imagine. He'll have money. Christmas plans, top, real nothing special, man. You're getting interviewed next week. Good luck, man. Imagine if the roles were reversed, the black man would be called a hero. Well, I mean, it's this simple. With a situation like this, it was deemed, there was a trial, somebody died, it was taken seriously, and it was deemed that Neely was a threat to public safety. And Penny did what he thought was necessary to subdue him. And it's unfortunate that he died, but that's just self-defense. And there's women and children. You have to keep people safe. When you're a threat to public safety, that gets taken into account, and so it's self-defense. But we all knew this and let it go through. And even in liberal New York City, they had to say it's just no. This is what it is. You can't be acting like that in public. There's gonna be you have issues like that, and then the dad comes out of nowhere who apparently just abandoned him and just it's a money grab, and BLM comes out and says, oh, this is so, because it's constantly the victim card with these people. It's not their fault they commit crimes. It's not their fault for anything. And then it's just the victimhood mentality from them. Any type of thing that they can spin, and obviously this is a case where it's a white dude with a black guy, they're going to do it. BLM is dead. It is. It really is, because they came out and this was a bad case for them. They did not have the public opinion on this one. There's really no liberal simping for them in this case. So they're going to come out and they're going to do their outrage like it's the worst thing ever. But if you don't have that national traction, the liberal traction to really push it, which is what they had with Floyd and everything, it's just going to fall flat. And so it fell flat today. They tried doing it. They said white people are horrible, and it just doesn't work when you don't have that liberal white guilt traction to push it out, at least from what I saw. Were you a 2020 BLM supporter? That's got to be a joke, man. No. Michael, what's up, bro? Would I go to Trump's inauguration? I'm not planning on going to Trump's inauguration. I'll probably just stream it. Every witness on the subway admitted they were afraid for their lives. Yeah, and I mean it goes to show you there was overwhelming. It had to have been overwhelming because this is liberal New York City. I mean, these are all liberals. The jurors are all liberals. New York City is like 80% liberal. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? Did you see what happened in Syria? Yeah, I saw, man. Um, they'll replace Syria is such a mess, and it's never going to get better. And none of those situations in the Middle East are ever going to get better. And why the United States keeps, I mean, just the Middle East is such a shit show. You'd think the United States, I mean, and then the Middle East just blames the America for the destabilization within the region. So then why don't we just say, okay, you blame us, enjoy, go fight each other for the next 300 years because that's all you're going to do. But now we're leaving, so you can't blame us. But they would never do that because of Israel. RB, what's up? What state are you from? I'm from Oregon. SMU will make it close against Penn State. The score, yeah, I think it'll be a close game as well. I think Penn State will win though. BLM end with launder. Yeah, well, they had the fraud or whatever. This dude who's like really light skinned, but like a multi-million-dollar mansion with the money, with the proceeds that they raised from the BLM movement in 2020 or whatever. Pull out of NATO, pull out of the Middle East. Uh, they would call ISIL as yeah, they would call that fascism. You're right. Isolating yourself. It's like how is that? It doesn't make any sense because that is the more Republicans are being more isolationist. But I don't know the what actually. Maybe I would do a video on what happens if the United States pulls out of NATO. Isn't there something to where they would have to wait a certain amount of time where they could rejoin NATO? Is that a clause or something? Or that, you know what? They would make an exemption. The second a liberal gets into office, NATO would be like, please, please, we're making an exemption. We'll give you everything. Please join NATO again. It's like the Paris Climate Accord. Trump pulls them out. Biden puts them back in. It's the same thing that would happen with NATO, probably. Taylor Lorenz will be tied to the assassin. Oh yeah, you want to see this? Here's
believe in the sanctity of life. And I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it
Joy?
feels like,
Serious?
I mean,
Joy in
I
a
guess I would
man's
say
execution?
maybe not joy, but certainly not no.
But it's just such the simpleton take, and this is what a lot of liberals are doing now with the death of the CEO. They assign the CEO as like, you're the reason all of these people died, so I get to feel joy in watching you die. Like it's like the old eye for an eye. And so they're like, oh, we're happy. You know what? We're this is justice now. Going, assassinating people is just justice. I mean, listen, I mean, there's bad things with healthcare. I get it, but the idea that this, like, you have to really use some further thinking to understand that maybe this is not a good president. (2028) GOP primary poll just came out. You're not talking about Don Jr., are you? Top. Don Jr. and Vance are tied. Dude, honestly, I know you say that it means nothing, but dude, we don't need Don because the thing is if he has Trump support, that's the thing. Is that an actual poll? Don Jr. tied with Vance. Here comes Don Jr. Oh God, dude, please no. Let the EU deal with Russia. Well, shouldn't that be the most obvious solution? And we'll deal with China. I mean, China says they want to pass us as being the most influential country in the world. Why would that not be our number one threat? Of course, it's our number one threat. They're shadow mocking invasions of Taiwan, but no, we have to, deal in Eastern Europe for what? I mean, it's like healthcare system is a shit show, but that's something for your federal congressman, not a. Yeah, well, they would just say, oh, it hasn't worked before. We've tried it. But, dude, the healthcare is. There's so many big players at the top that won't change it. The only. Like, how do you even change that? And I mean, the U.S. already has a combination of private plus a version of, with Medicare, a version of public. Tommy Lauren can get it. Dude, she seems like I don't see her anywhere anymore. You know what? I gotta try and stay off. Maybe I should try and stay off of social media nowadays. But I kind of have to stay on it. Yes, it was an actual poll. I can tag you on X. Yeah, please. Well, maybe if I just search up Vance, it'll come up. Or honestly, it would probably. Yeah, Vance 2028. It might come up. I don't know, man. Oh, here it is. Kalshi. They're just doing this to try and get some engagement. Nobody really cares about this shit. Yeah, this is the problem with X. It has issues with like finding like, look at this. This is just fake outrage. This, come on, man. You're trying to use a death for fake outrage. It was caused by himself. That's how he acts in subways. It was bound to bite him at some point. The white liberals don't support this. This is why this is not really getting any play anywhere.
Just like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up
I think Neely was a vigilante.
and choke us and kill us for
Well, if you act like a clown and put people in danger, that's what's gonna happen.
being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired.
Tired.
I know you're looking for us to be like, oh, go and march. Go and march. No. This weekend, I want you to hold a community event everywhere from the Bronx to Houston to Seattle to Florida. Black people, whole community event.
This isn't gonna work because it doesn't have the support of the white liberal mainstream media. I don't think. If it had the support, they would be able to do it. But it's all the white liberals that control that stuff, man. If they deem it's worthy to be pushed, then they'll push it. morning consult. Junior won't run. Well, yeah, maybe not with Don Jr. there. Is RFK even? I mean, I guess is he even a Republican? I thought he was still an independent. He's not running, man. RFK. I saw on Fox they said there were only 24 protesters. What a weak showing. Yeah. You have to respect the grind though. Scam 80 million from 6 different homes in Beverly Hills. Yeah, man, they had to have raised an F ton of money with that BLM. That was all over in 2020. He's still independent, Kennedy. Yeah, but I don't think he'd be the choice anyways, even if he did become Republican. BLM is a terrorist organization. Well, it's irrelevant now. There's no point in talking about it, giving it oxygen. Thoughts on liberals saying democracy is officially dead? There's always going to be wacko people that get angry. I mean, they hated Trump for so long, so they lose and they react accordingly. But you know what? I know what you're talking about. You're saying Trump's going to do something to kill democracy. You're saying, and with the Supreme Court and stuff. Yeah, he should have done it. I mean, I'm not even sure that it's. I think that's impossible, honestly. The way our government is set up, I don't think he'll be able to do any of that. Junior will not run in the 2028 cycle. I think he'll follow the Bush family and run after a decade. I mean, but then he wouldn't his only chance I think would be 28. Honestly, Junior is. I mean, I could see him running, to be honest. Eric Trump wants the poll. Yeah, he would be Junior's VP. Oh man. Have you had any new type of video ideas? Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the video that I did with Greater Idaho. That was a little bit of a different style that I used. I had a script, and I think more videos like that where maybe they're not. I'm not in the webcam or anything, and it's just more like little info videos and stuff, and I talk more fluently, easier. It's easier to well, it's not easier to edit, but it comes off a lot better, and just kind of exploring some different things. I wonder, maybe videos like that, because that video did do well, and most of my videos they'll just fall off pretty much immediately. That's how politics are. Unless, I'll tell you what, guys, it's kind of pathetic that this happens, and I'm not gonna fall into the not that it's a trap, but it's like if I upload a video about reacting to MSNBC, I mean, it immediately does way better than any of my other videos. It's just kind of like, but like, I don't want to be a reaction channel, like low budget, it's like, I don't want to do that. But it's just funny how that works, Like, the algorithm is so trained when you have like liberal rage and stuff. People are just, and those are evergreen videos too. It's not like, see, when I was doing the election videos and everything like that, and you do videos on polls, I mean, it's just so easy compared to how it is. I mean, I guess, it was bound to end, but it was just like doing videos like that. They're so easy, but then they just fall off immediately because nobody cares about watching them after like a day. As good as the Trumps are, America doesn't want political dynasties. Hockey, I think you might be underestimating some of the Trump fanatics. But no, I agree with you. That's why I said I was out on Trump. I mean, dude, we'll have to see how well Trump does, but hockey, that there's going to be a narrative if Trump does well. Like a 52%, 53% approval rating for him to try and change some sort of rule because his terms weren't consecutive and he'd try and get a third term. I mean, and Joe Rogan, I remember saying this. I used to listen to Joe Rogan, and he said, it's funny how the president is, you would figure you give them more time because they get better and better and better at the job rather than just the 2 terms. But I mean, I would be out on Trump running again, honestly. Do you think Trump is the most famous person in the world right now? I know Ronaldo is very famous soccer player. But Trump has to be up there. Putin, it would be Trump, Putin. I like comedic reaction. Well, yeah, I mean, it's obvious people like that. There's no doubt about it. Because if it does well in the algorithm, it's not YouTube's not pushing it for no reason. They know that people will watch it and there'll be good retention, so there'll be more ads. Biden did a whisper today. It's kind of like watching Michael Jordan on the Wizards at this point. Biden doing the whisper. He's so washed. Maybe no, honestly, the whisper was good, but now it's like he already lost. Bring back cringy story time videos. It's kind of embarrassing, man. I saw Interstellar today. Dude, I still remember when I was like 14 years old and it was a school night and I watched Interstellar. It was probably like around this time because the sun set really early. What an amazing movie that is. I haven't seen Interstellar in a few years, but I've probably seen it like 40 times, probably like 50 times at this point. But I haven't seen it in a while. But I mean, you see it and you do get motivated to try and like, man, I wish we could have some space exploration, but then the motivation dies off. But it's just so interesting to go to other like to just see that visual of going to other planets and stuff. Your reaction to something is wrong 2024 was hilarious. Yeah, I was thinking of doing a video on that, but I don't know how I would like. I mean, I guess I could title it something like Libs think. I guess I could think of something. Barron would be 35 by 2040. I mean, but like, so I'm talking to Trump supporters here. Do you guys want like? Are you serious about Barron? I mean, I guess we'll see what happens with Barron. But I mean, I have barely even heard the kid speak. I mean, do people really want to vote for him? It is kind of strange to me. But I mean, I don't know. I'd like to hear him in a podcast or something. Are you gonna watch the Snow White? I don't think so, man. There'll probably be clips of it on X and stuff with people talking about how woke it is. That's my guess. Trump was everywhere in his first term, but with Biden, he was nowhere to be found. He really did spend his last 5 to 10% of cognitive ability on the campaign trail in 2020 with no crowds. Yeah, well, those rallies were total jokes. Anyways, the Biden rallies in 2020, it's like social distancing. There's like 5 people there. And then they're like, oh, it's it's because of measures, and they didn't even so it masks any problems with crowds. Nasdaq 420. Dude, I hope Nasdaq 420 does something. That would be great. You know what? I have all those coins, those meme stocks. I have them all in a watch list. Reaction to Juan Soto signing with the Mets. Yeah, that was a crazy deal, man. I don't know about what like 3/4 of a billion, I think. 760 million. Obviously, it's a lot less with taxes and everything. It's a lot less with taxes, but the Yankees. It's hard to pay that much for a player. I think some of it was Soto not wanting to be with Judge because Judge like takes a lot of the shine. To be fair, I mean the Yankees offered him a ton. They offered Soto like right at the same level almost. I think it came down to him not wanting to be overshadowed by Judge, and now the Yankees are gonna have to patchwork. They'll spend like probably 40 or 50 million this year on players to try and make up for it. Not have a Trump directly succeed Donald, but a few presidencies later, we have Barron run when he's in his 40s. Yeah, that's probably because, dude, people always say, oh, when is he 36? But you really don't want to run when you're that young. It's not going to go well. I mean, 40s, I feel like we're going to get younger with presidents, and it's probably going to be 50s and 40s. I'm I am real running in 2040. You're running in 2040. You're a presidential candidate. Wow, this is amazing news. You mentioned it once. I'm going to give retired vets no taxes for the rest of their lives. What are you running as? What party are you running as? An independent? Granted, we don't know anything else about Barron, and I think we should have someone prove themselves. Well, yeah, I mean, but that's kind of like that he really doesn't have to prove anything because he's not running for another like 20 years. But I know what you're saying. It is kind of weird. Like people are. It's like it's almost like he's bound to fail because people think he's like this Poseidon level like Greek god. Do you realize you wasted your vote? Oh, the political analyst. That had to have been a fake interaction though, man. That was a fake interaction. That lady said, she's like, "Do you realize?" She's like, "I'm toasting to Madam President tonight." What a bitchy thing to say. Heisman prediction. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Hunter. I mean, I would like it to be Genty. I think it'd be cool, but I mean, if you look at the, you know what? I actually don't know. I haven't looked recently. Oh, this is actually on the Heisman. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's going to be Genty with these when the betting is like this. I mean, it's hard to say. It's got to be. Who will be inaugurated as president? Well, here you go, guys. Go bet on Kamala. Like what? I mean, this is strange. GOP candidate. Oh man, good luck. Thoughts on Nebraska football? I mean, they're nothing. I mean, as long as they keep Rayola, I think Rayola is going to keep getting better. So he started as a true freshman. So you got two hopefully good years of him. He needs to bring in a number one receiver, though. What are your thoughts on Groypers? I don't think their political strategy is too good to say you call yourself incels. It's just not. It's not an attractive political strategy. You think Trump will run for 2028 Florida Senate? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, how old would Trump be at that? 82, 83? Is he 78 right now? You streaming on January 6th when Congress counts the votes? Well, I'm hoping for a liberal January 6th. That's what we're hoping for, man. I don't know, man. Maybe. DJ Lagway. Yeah, he looks like he's an interesting prospect. He's got a huge arm. Former 5-star. Thoughts on the Luigi situation? Well, when he got caught at McDonald's, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what comes out, man. Honestly, stuff like that, I'm a lot different than the general public. Like true crime, the true crime stuff where you have to solve things. I'm not extremely big into that, honestly. Thoughts? I think Vance Ramaswamy for 2028. Your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to if Ramaswamy wants to be second fiddle, he has to understand the writing is. I mean, I don't know if Ramaswamy would want to be a VP. If he does, then that could be it. But would Vance be more interested in trying to balance the ticket a little bit better than Ramaswamy. I'm so glad you passed on buying my Big 12 championship ticket. I would have felt guilty sending you to that. Well, I mean, Arizona State ran him out of the building. Why is Trump only at 95? Yeah, but there's probably like $100 cap on this. Who knows? He should be at 99. I agree. TikTok banned before May of 2025, 31% chance. How long has this been a market? Yeah, they're talking. I mean, does anyone have any traction on this? I have no. I've heard nothing on this. If Trump, because originally Trump wanted to ban it, then he said no. Now, if I remember correctly, but now he's coming back in and they're talking about banning it. I mean, I just don't know the level of. I mean, I would ban it just because I think it's bad for kids, and I think just call it Chinese spyware. Who cares? But I mean, the kids they'll just create some other thing or whatever. But I mean, if China has the information, you got to ban it. But then all the dumb liberal kids who are obsessed with TikTok, they're like, well, what about Apple and Google? They have our information. Well, I mean, they're not Chinese. It's different. Vance Lindell, Mike Lindell. Yeah, that would be something. Are you actually a Vols fan? No, that was a troll, man. You saw that? Yeah, that was a troll. He's at 95% because yeah, but even with the idea that something could happen to him, he should still be like 98%. Mets getting Soto. I mean, good for them. It's a ton of money, but Soto and Lindor, I don't know about their pitching though. Go ahead and at least try to give us political and pop culture predictions for 2025. Well, I mean, 2025 is immediately going to start with Trump coming in. Probably a lot of talk about Russia, Ukraine, trying to end that. And so I think 2025 Trump will end the war. The well, who knows about the Middle East, but Trump will at least end the war in Ukraine, and liberals will say Trump's appeasing Putin, and then Trump will threaten to leave NATO. I think Vance is the no-brainer for 2028. As for the Dems, I think just think of the absolute worst person they could pick, and that's your candidate. I mean, I think the Dems is wide open. For Republicans, it just depends on how well the presidency goes with Trump on whether or not. I mean, you would think it has to be Vance. It's whatever Trump wants, as long as Trump doesn't fall out of favor. I mean, how can we say at the same time, alongside the China argument for TikTok, there's also a censorship argument? Well, no, it's not a censorship problem. What do you mean a censorship? This is not about censorship. Banning TikTok would not be about censorship. It's not about censoring opinions. It's about the app being spyware. And so nobody cares about the opinions on TikTok. It's not like there's people on TikTok that were saying no, you can't listen to them. It's an widespread app thing, and it's the inner workings of the app and the app giving data to China. It doesn't have anything to do with like the creators on TikTok. We're trying to ban them because we don't want Americans to see what they're saying. TikTok is like the same shit as YouTube Shorts. The censorship is irrelevant. It's not about censorship. So as far as TikTok goes, appeal to the Supreme Court. It wasn't seen as constitutional. It'll be banned the day before Trump takes the oath. Really? Jack Sawyer, the hero. Imagine does he have another interception in him? Any Redskins logo or mascot update? Well, what I saw with the Redskins, they were possibly going to bring the logo back, but they're not bringing the name back. So I don't understand how that works. How do you bring the logo? I guess they could call them the Warriors or something, but politics will get super boring. Some say they will be happy, but in reality, most want something direct. Yeah, I mean, people want drama, dude. You're right. People want drama. Everyone has something they're angling. I mean, for the Democrats, if you're a Democrat, like the Democrat version of me would be in an amazing situation because you can rip into anything Trump says. When your candidate is in, you kind of have to go on the defensive, and that's just how it is. Would you have done the same thing as Daniel Penny? I would have. Um, I'm not trained in that, honestly, man. I mean, it depends how crazy the situation is, I guess. Do you think MLB should have a salary cap? Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer, but the players are too greedy. They're not going to do it. Jack Sawyer will have a 99-yard pick six off Nico. I'm a Lamaliva. Yeah, whatever is that. Yeah, who knows what his name is. What I mean by censorship and banning it just sets a precedent for government to come in and ban whatever app they want in the future. Yeah, no, I mean, I mean, but that would be a false equivalency. I know what you're saying. They're like, but this is being banned for a specific reason that's independent of censorship. But I understand what you're saying. Well, if they could ban this, why can't they ban that? But that would be they would be mischaracterizing the president for banning TikTok by banning something else because of censorship. But this was not banned for censorship. But I know what you're saying. It's a slippery slope. Saying free him now, fucking pathetic. Are you talking about the assassin? Because that's a very I addressed this earlier. It's these people they assign they think that CEO is like guilty of killing a bunch of people indirectly, so they're like, well, he should die, and it's almost like this badass, like, oh, we like that. We like when someone gets assassinated because he deserved it. It's like the old eye for an eye. That's what a lot of these people they're you'd think it'd be more of a Republican characteristic, but a lot of Democrats have that. Our NFL salary cap is so messed up, dude. With how they're able to like I don't even know what they do. What do they defer money or something? It's just these contracts they'll just keep deferring them. It's such a mess. They really should end the deferring the money too. We saw what happened the last time when Trump chose his VP with Pence Vance. I mean, the VPs they do have similar names. Yeah, Luigi. Yeah, that dude. Well, I mean, it's whatever. Nico Lamaliva overrated. I mean, I think people. I don't think he's overrated. I barely hear him get talked about. The CEO didn't do shit. That's literally just the healthcare system. You can't kill him for playing with the system. Well, dude, you know how it is. They assign blame to people, and then it's more of like it's like a human power trip. Like it's this fake morality eye for an eye thing. To be fair, you can't have sympathy for the CEO either. Dude is just another rich fuck who probably doesn't care about the people that got denied and died just saying, well, yeah, but I mean, that's a pretty crazy precedent you're setting. I understand what you're saying. I mean, I've never really said anything about the CEO. I didn't say, oh, but you know, but I mean, but the president of that, but I mean, like, it's one of those things to where our healthcare has been such a fucking mess for so long, and it's never going to get fixed because all the very powerful people won't allow it to be fixed. And by powerful people, I'm not even talking about, well, politicians, but it's an extension of the politicians. The powerful people pay the politicians to not fix it. Have you seen Am I Racist? I mean, I think I've seen a few clips. The Matt Walsh thing you're talking about. Even Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh's audience turning on them. Yeah, well, I think Shapiro had I don't even know what Shapiro's take was, but yeah, I saw he had a bunch of dislikes on his video. Any updates on the Washington Commanders football stadium because FedEx Field is such a bad. Oh, FedEx Field is the worst stadium and it probably possibly in North America. That's a professional sports stadium, but I haven't heard anything on it. I'd have to actually look it up. I haven't looked it up in a while. Matt Walsh is not the same as he used to be. Yeah, I always thought Matt Walsh was a bit of a weirdo. You just get a vibe from him. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Who do you want to see in the championship game? Maybe like, I mean, I guess Ohio State, Georgia. The bottom half of the bracket is so bad. It's well, I shouldn't say so bad, but it's just so much worse. Will Ryan Day be fired if he loses to Tennessee? Yeah, he'll be gone 100%. I'm not really into politics, but what are your thoughts on Trump wanting Canada as a new state? I'm a Canadian and from Toronto and wouldn't mind. Well, he really didn't say that. I'm sure like there were headlines like that, but he basically wants Canada to he wants leverage over Canada and Canada to pay more in a trade deal. That's mainly why he said it. It would not, and you guys wouldn't be added as a state. And if you were added as a state, it wouldn't be a singular state. All of the different provinces would be separate states, but it wouldn't make sense. The Canada would be added as a territory by Republicans, but the problem with that is then liberals would try and make it a state because it's more liberal. It wouldn't happen. Barron said he'd never run based on the way she treat. Well, I mean, like, dude, we're gonna talk about what Barron says now. I mean, he can't even run for another, however many years, almost 2 decades. So his opinion right now could very easily shift. What would you want to see done with the Redskins name and mascot? I want to see it restored to the Redskins. If you look at the history of that, that was an honor thing. That's why they changed the name to Redskins, and it's not a bad depiction. It's not a slur at all. And they're trying to get it changed back, and they're in real communication with the Native Americans. Now the Indians, you can say it's derogatory because of the logo, the way it looks with the nose. Who will Ohio State replace Day with? Probably Dillingham from Arizona State. America, Canada were always culturally meant to be a unified nation. I mean, I understand people want more land, and I get it. I guess it would be easier. I don't know, man. I mean, it'd be harder for Republicans to win elections unless you want to add them as a territory. Make Mexico and Canada U.S. territories. Well, Mexico would be a major investment. Mexico, you would lose a lot of money immediately. The influx, the amount of police and infrastructure that would have to be saved and built up in Mexico, and the cartel issue that would have to be solved. I mean, you could. I mean, it's almost like Mexico makes more sense than Canada, honestly, for the United States, just because of how much of a mess Mexico is. Is it actually possible to annex Canada or Mexico and make them part of the Union? Um, I mean, the United States enjoys serious leverage over those states. I guess I would answer it by saying if the United States threatened either of those states, it's very easy. You can possibly do that, yeah. But I mean, ideally, you would want the states to want. I mean, what I always thought annexation was this, like what happened with Austria and Nazi Germany, where they wanted to join, and so they annex them. But I mean, I guess if you threaten an invasion, you could just annex them because they join anyways, because their country would be destroyed against the United States. But that's already a hostile start. It would have to be Canadians. So, but would Canadians even want to be Americans? I mean, it would be some through threatening basically both those countries, because the United States has maximum leverage over them. They need the United States. They can't have the United States angry at them. Their country could cease to exist. But I mean, they could say it's a bluff from the U.S. They could also do that and say no. You would also have to still secure southern Mexico border. Well, yeah, then the border just moves lower, which a lot of Americans would love. Then you could turn Mexico into what America, like maybe Mexico will still have problems, but then America will be that much safer. There's another barrier there, Now Mexico is like the buffer barrier. I was on TikTok. Bro, I was on TikTok lives earlier and libs were crashing out so hard. I tried to tell them you won't find 30 senators to agree on Project 2025. Well, they're still talking about Project 2025. It is what it is. I mean, God bless them. I don't think Russia would appreciate us buying Canada. Russia wouldn't appreciate us buying any land. You think an adversary wants the United States to get more powerful? You think China would like that? But really, what can those countries do? It would probably be China's justification for an invasion of Taiwan, though. That's another thing that you'd have to think about. I'm so confused. Do people want an additional 100 million Mexicans? It's going to look like Brazil in 50 years. Yeah, I think most of them probably are like, well, maybe if they just stay in Mexico after we buy Mexico. I think that's probably what they're thinking. But yeah, then do they just get to they're already citizens, so they just immigrate from the Mexican cities to the United States, and then it's a bigger problem. Yeah, that would not work. That is not on the table. Trust me. Do you think the U.S. should withdraw from NATO? I think it's a very complicated thing. I would have to be briefed on the pros and cons. I don't know the exact situation on how those countries would react. I would imagine there would have to be something that changes within NATO in terms of how it's run for me to stay in it. But I mean, I think they would change. I mean, they're at the mercy of the United States. All of these European countries, they need the United States and NATO so bad. So I think they would change. But I mean, it's like, at what point does NATO get too powerful to where it goes from a defense agreement to starting to threaten China and Russia? And I do think we've pushed Russia and China together, in part because of NATO. I mean, how can you not? If you're in the East and you see this massive military agreement, I know we always look at it from the American perspective, but it's like, imagine if there was this huge, just gigantic military agreement with Eastern countries. It's like 20 of them, headed by India, Russia, North Korea, Iraq, China. Then we would go to the UK and be like, hey, we got to do something. We need to start something. We need to have an agreement here. This is to counter it. You have friends, they're down to join the USA. Well, I don't think Mexico would want their culture really stripped away and replaced with American. I don't think the United States is really interested in adding Mexico. Well, that's the problem with adding these countries. That's why I said Greenland is the ultimate strategy, because you have to deal with population. In Greenland, you really don't have to deal with any population. It's 50,000 people. It's nothing. That, it's an issue getting these people to assimilate. But you buying Mexico would be a disaster if you think about it. Is a Chinese invasion of Taiwan inevitable? I think something's bound to happen there. They've done mock invasions around encircling the island, and that's another reason why Biden had that Chips Act, because of our reliance on chips in Taiwan. And imagine something happens where now it goes through China and all the chips are owned by China. If they take Taiwan, we have to be able to produce them ourselves. U.S. Russia China alliance. Oh my God, we just got the ultimate world peace. Although what would Europe think about that? That would be a problem. Imagine if we just left NATO and had a mass alliance with Russia and China. That would I mean, I like Europe, man. It's just they're so liberal. It's, Is this a betting site for banning TikTok? Yeah, it's just Polymarket. They have markets like this. Israel invades Syria. 77% chance. We need to forget about this rubbish and start colonizing space. Ask Elon Musk. We gotta claim Mars. Imagine if the US just claimed all of Mars. The Mars is probably going to be treated the same as Antarctica, although I don't think it should be. I mean, the United States is going to get to Mars first, and you need to claim it. I think Puerto Rico could become a state soon. Now, the only way that happens is liberals would have to have power back in Congress and the executive branch. The Republicans will never allow that. And to be honest, a lot of those straw polls that they do, they're rigged by liberals. They really want Puerto Rico to join because Puerto Rico's liberal. And what is it, 14 electoral votes with their population. Not only that, it's also the 2 senators they would get. That's why they got DC to be a state, but that's absurd. I mean, look at the population in DC. Look at how big DC is. There's no way it becomes a state. Imagine putting money on the bet last week. Yeah, I'm guessing people I would cash this out, bro. Top holders. Dude's up 10K in a trade. Oh, he bought at 60 cents, though. I wonder somebody who bought it like nothing. Will the Washington Commanders win? This bro bought Cam Ward shares of the Heisman. Cam Ward Heisman shares. Do you think we would get to Mars in 4 years? I mean, a rover. I don't even think a rover could get there that fast. I don't think so, man. But also, liberals had power for a while, and yeah, you're right. But I mean, you would think they'd be dumb not to try. Puerto Rico's no, dude. Puerto Rico's not Republican, man. It's not Republican. It wouldn't vote Republican. Trust me. %45 of Puerto Ricans voted for Trump. Yeah, in the United States, not in Puerto Rico. That's the people moving here. we should leave our European allies and form a super alliance with Russia. Demographic trends aren't good. Europe will be mainly Islamic in the future. Dude, you know what I saw? I saw top 10 baby names in the UK. Number 1, Muhammad. Oh my god. Yeah. Holy shit. How do you not look at that and be like, we gotta change something? This is fucking like what? In the UK. What a good idea from Bill Clinton to tell Russia to fuck off when they asked about NATO membership. Yeah, that's really helping us now. You're right. Did you see the video of Barron Trump speaking on election night? Um, I saw the one with Dana White. Is that the one you're talking about? I didn't see him on election. I didn't see him talk on election night. Did you play Halo as a kid? I played BO1, Black Ops 1 mainly. That was first person shooter that I played. I did have Halo Reach. I never really got into Halo. I found it when I was younger annoying. You had to put like 100 bullets into a dude to kill him in Halo Reach. I mean, that's what it was. Puerto Rico serves as a strategic military purpose. I mean, so many. You could argue that about basically any country. I swear, whenever I look up like countries, if the United States should get them there, it's always like, well, it's a strategic military. I mean, I think Greenland is the only one, man. I think Greenland could happen. They really need to make them. They really need to make a market about Greenland. Disappointing, super disappointing. An invasion of Venezuela. Yeah, I mean, what are we invading them for? I mean, they got like 4 billion% inflation. Core of mass immigration to Europe. Yeah, dude, I want to do a video. I don't know how well it would go over on like just why is all of this happening? Like why is this a why would anyone think this is a good thing? And why is immigration in Western countries handled so much differently than it is in Eastern? But it's not racist for Japan to turn away basically everyone. But then if we turn away people, I mean, it's like, but I mean, you start to get into like dicey territory when you do that. Do you think Liz Cheney will go to jail? I think Trump's not. Trump really doesn't care about that, man. Greenland won't happen. Yeah, Denmark have. Yeah, I could see them having too much national pride. I mean, it would have, and then it gets to the point where you have to like overpay for it. Yeah, I mean, Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Indiana. Did I miss any? For what? The playoff? Would you support sending Delta Force to Mexico to stop cartels? I mean, I would have to be briefed on it. I'd have to know that the situation in Mexico and how successful it would be. And I mean, it would probably destabilize the area, and then you would have the cartels varying. I mean, I think stopping the cartels is a good thing. If Vivek convinces Trump and they do something, I would support it. I mean, but we got to make sure cartels are the number one biggest issue when it comes to this migration, and because a lot of these people they're coming to, well, this is another thing that's important to understand. A lot of these illegal immigrants aren't even Mexican. Why would Denmark want to give up Greenland though? Because Denmark has really no purpose for Greenland. The United States, they don't have the money to extract resources from it. The United States does because of how much we're worth. But did you hear about that Bitcoin reserve? That's going to be awesome if Trump does that. It's unfortunate he's buying at the top. Let me see this. Wow, they don't even have a... That's annoying. You think they would have a question on the Bitcoin reserve? Ethereum all-time high in 2024. I don't even know what Ethereum's all-time high is. Ethereum hit 10K. Ethereum will hit 10K in 2025, not 2024. Will China unban crypto? In 2025, they have to. Would you ever vote for National Purge Day? That's a joke. Come on. What about Greater Idaho? I mean, I think Greater Idaho potentially has a chance to happen, but you would need momentum behind it, and it's hard because there's just such few people in those areas. Yeah, we're getting into like a bit of a, I know what everyone is saying and stuff, but I'm monetized, guys. Ohio State's only night game this season was Western Michigan. Yeah, I know. It's a total joke, but now they finally got another one, Tennessee. You know what? I want to take a look at that. What is this? Do they not have they don't have the games, really? Huh. How to get lowest gas fees on Uniswap? You gotta use Uniswap on off hours. I would just look up at when the off hours are, but Uniswap fees are always gonna be a pain in the ass, dude. I'm already sick of Uniswap fees, but I mean I have most Ethereum coins. I constantly use Uniswap. I got hit with thousands of dollars of fees. I mean it's unfortunate. Is Greater Idaho on Polymarket? No, that's a fringe topic. It wouldn't be on there. Army got snubbed. Army did have a really nice season. I mean, they went 11-1. Oh, Biden having a press conference tomorrow or Wednesday. What did he say in his manifesto? The Unabomber? Black Lives Matter. Do you have Tennessee upsetting Ohio State? No, I don't. Just don't use ETH. Use another blockchain. Oh, I have to use ETH, bro. That's where all my coins are on. They're on ETH. I mean, I have a few Solana coins. There's a few coins. Most of my. I mean, ETH is the main. It's the main big dog, man. Come on. But their fees do suck. I mean, base is fixed it, but it's like nothing's on base. ESPN broadcasted more night Ohio State games than Fox. Well, Fox doesn't broadcast any night Ohio State games at all. Was about to bet on Juan Soto to the Yankees yesterday morning, man. The odds were so good. Really? Well, the good thing you didn't. Direct elections for the cabinet, judges, and recall for those, plus the president and VP should be alongside national citizen initiative ballot measures. We should have more say. Well, that would be, it seems like that would be a lot to handle. To have, I mean, the problem is people don't pay that much attention to that type of stuff. Who would win on a neutral field, Indiana or Colorado? Come on. Google me. Remember Marcus Freeman was like, I had a chance to Google him. Dude, Marcus Freeman, I don't know what happened to his hair, but it's like he had his hair painted on. His Twitter is just AI shit. Yeah, I know, dude. You know, these things like women love this type of shit where it's like, oh, it's a mystery. He's a killer. It's a, but it's like, I just don't give a fuck, honestly. I don't know. But people love this shit. I mean, this is going to be the big I mean, just like what was the one trial, Amber Heard? I didn't give a fuck about that. I really didn't care. But that was like, dude, that was like the #1 search that year. Was that Johnny Depp. Where do you see Doge by the end of 2025? Well, I would say in 2025, I would say like maybe $2, $2.50. Big Noon can't be on the West Coast. Yeah, because they can't start games at 9 a.m. They can start games at 10 a.m., but not 9. Thoughts on Moo? That coin should do well. I know what coin you're talking about. That coin's gotten shelled by people. Everything's down today, man. 119 million. Yeah, this coin will do well. I'm not going to buy it, but it should do well. Why is Notre Dame University so liberal for being such a Catholic university in conservative areas? Because the liberal festeration, it's festered on every college campus, no matter what. It's crazy, man. I'd like to do a video on how that happened. That would be a good video. How did this happen? I saw another stat today about for every like one, I don't know, some type of professors. There's like for every one Republican, there's 50, like there's 520 liberal professors. It's like, what in the fuck? Solana could flip Ethereum. Hopefully not, dude. I hope Ethereum does well because I need the coins on Ethereum to do well. Well, I guess it doesn't have a crazy correlation, but do you collect coins? I don't collect any coins. Do you think that I do not think that China will invade Taiwan during Trump's presidency? You don't think? I mean, I'm not sure. It honestly, dude. I think Trump there's an argument that Trump might give Taiwan less support than a liberal president would. But I mean, I know the narrative is that, well, you know, Trump's more of a badass, and he's, countries stay in line when Trump's in office. I've never heard of this coin. Is it on here? Oh, this is one of these 30 million pump fund coin. Yeah, I mean, you just never know with these coins, man. I mean, this could 500x. Nobody knows, dude. What's with it, and what is with women and their fetishes for killers? Yeah, I know that's always been a thing. I mean, look at all the top female podcasts. It's all true crime. That's what people talk about. Second, why is this a story? Why is this a big story? No one knew Brian Thompson before this shit happened. Well, yeah, it's the selective outrage, and people. It's like, well, people, they want to stand together, and they're like, oh, he's one of us. He did a noble act, killing that terrible person, and so they want to like come together. Oh, here we go. Now, here we go with this. The time is now to expand the American empire. One, move southern border further south. I do agree with that. I said they should redraw the border to make it all connect and then redo the wall. I agree with they need to no, but I don't want it down too far. We don't need too much land. We want to redraw the southern border so it all connects and there's not natural land barriers. You're right on that. Annex British Columbia and Yukon to connect it to Alaska. Yeah, but the problem with British Columbia, they're all liberal. Buy Greenland. Negotiate with threat of leaving NATO. But is that really much of a negotiation threat for Denmark? I don't know. Listen, I heard Greenland would cost around $50 billion. I mean, so that's not too bad. But no, I agree with you. I don't know about annexing British Columbia and Yukon. I mean, Yukon is very sparsely populated. British Columbia, great skiing there. There is great skiing. Mexico won't allow that. Send them into a trade war then. Boomer Ethereum, I've heard of that one. Yeah, probably pretty good, I would say. What is it at right now? 10 million. Yeah, this is the type of yeah, this is a good this should do well. I mean, not financial advice obviously. It's been out for a little while. It had a little run up. Yeah, this is the type of stuff you want to be. You want to make sure you just, let it have its first drop off. That's the thing with it. China's missile force are gonna pound the hell out of Taiwan. Yeah, that has to be the start. I don't think China even wants to do a land invasion. Where do you land? That coast is miserable, dude. Even the western side, I mean the eastern side, it's a fucking wall. The eastern side of Taiwan is a complete wall. There's so they would have to do an invasion. Some women have no lives and just watch true crime all day. Well, yeah, it's like dudes playing COD all day. OTC on it. I'm not even sure what this is. Let's take a look. What is this? A bald baby? Huh. Do you know what the well? Do you know what the what is the circulating supply right now? We don't even have a market cap on this. I mean, it looks like it's bottomed out to me, but there's some weird stuff going on. I don't know what the total circulating right now is, or it's just not reported. Thoughts on the Hawk Tua rug pull? I don't even think I don't even think they put it on here. They had to have put it on here. No, they didn't. They didn't put it on here. I don't think it's any of these coins. No, it's not. Dude, it's so obvious. Like when you have a pre-sale for a meme coin, that's as bad as it can get. And then they put well, they said it was to stop snipers. They put like a 15% buy and sell tax on it immediately. But anytime you have a pre-sale for something I didn't even know about it until it happened. It's interesting how people get into that. This is the cluster that the wallet had. Oh my god. And then it all got sold. I mean, what did it hit for? Like 500 million? It's at 18 million now. It's just bots trading it. Oh man. It's still at 18 million. That's funny. Does it piss you off that the white suburbs shifted so left? I think it's crazy that the suburbs are left. It's crazy to me. You would think the suburbs would be as like that's like a Republican style. I mean, I guess it's white elites. I don't I always thought the suburbs white suburbs should be Republican. Yeah, now with the Hispanics, you would think it would be a crazy majority. Oh, there has to be. Of course, there's got to be a Luigi. What did this thing even start at? Yeah, guys, I just got into this coin at one. This thing's at 35 million from nothing. There it is. The Luigi meme. The assassin. What messaging can we do to make America a more pro-life nation? It was polling 50-50 before. It was polling 50-50 before Roe v. Wade, which is pretty crazy. It just goes to show you the propaganda with Roe v. Wade and stuff, and women actually believing that all of their rights got taken away because of it, and it becomes this negative thing. I mean, I think you have to give it time. You have to give it time, unfortunately. But I mean, I could make a really good. I mean, I feel like I could make a really good argument, pro life argument. I mean, when it comes to just, boy, this coin is just going crazy. People deserve to lose money putting money to this. Well, I mean, listen, a lot of these people probably made money, bro. This is just how crypto is. I mean, yeah, if you're buying it now, like, come on, you missed out a little bit. But I mean, maybe they think it's going to go to like 200 million, but even that, it's like, it's not worth it. The pro-life wing of the GOP are pretty much forced to keep it down, considering most of the U.S. supports abortion. Well, I don't think they necessarily support abortion. It's more about the framing of the argument to where you're taking women's rights away. People don't like that, but that's really not what's going on, but that's how it's framed. We're undergoing political realignment. You're right. There has to be a realignment with the suburbs. That's the only explanation for it, man. That's got to be the only explanation. The thing about the pro-life argument is that they will get shut down most of the time because they use the religion card, and the other side will point it out. Yeah, well, I mean, you don't even have to use religion to argue it, honestly. There's other ways to argue the value of human life rather than just that. Thoughts on the Jay-Z situation? I don't pay attention to that, to like rappers and shit like that, honestly. I don't really, I mean, the Diddy stuff, it's like, I don't know, man. I think people just care more about affording groceries than abortion. Well, that's the overall point of it is Republicans are losing the topic, and it's because of Roe v. Wade and how do you swing it. But I mean, obviously you're right, considering it's a losing topic, but Republicans still won easily because people were more interested in the economy and stuff like that. But it could be a lot bigger of a problem in the future, I guess. But hopefully time will heal it. And people will calm down. There's no way North Carolina hires Bill Belichick. Who knows, dude? I mean, he would be the coach for like 3 years, and then he'd give it to his son. The last time I saw it was like possibly gonna happen. Do you think Jake Paul fights Andrew Tate next? Oh yeah, man. There's a massive payday. That's good, man. That's what we should see. I don't know. Do people like Andrew Tate here? I think Andrew Tate. I mean, I thought Andrew Tate said a lot of true things about male female relations, things like that. But like the degeneracy where with the family, where you can like go fuck 50 women as long as you're rich. I mean, that's just. I don't understand how Republicans endorse that shit. I just think it's degeneracy. Do you think Republicans can win the next 4 elections? I mean, it's impossible to say, man. I can't think that far, man. It's very unlikely though, based off of our history. It shifts back and forth. Yeah, morally abortion is bad and I don't agree with it. However, a lot of people are just going to say, well, you can't tell a woman what to do. Well, I mean, we tell people what to do all the time with laws. You can't do certain things. I mean, it's just laws. Part of Belichick's demand is that Matt Patricia gets so he's hiring an NFL staff. No, that's a joke. Josh McDaniels and Patricia. They worked for him in New England. Wouldn't overturning Roe v. Wade and giving the decision back to the states be a good thing? Well, some of the states are going to make abortion illegal, the Republican states, so they view it as having less rights. That's just the bottom line. Tate is weird now. He's just a groiper and a grifter who does anything for clicks. Well, I thought groipers were incels. I don't think he's that. But I mean, he's got some weird stuff with like the cam girl business and stuff. It's like, I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of his takes when it comes to the relations between men and women and kind of exposing women for certain things, I do agree with. But lot like the personal life, the lifestyle, it's all just. Would you rather have Bo Nix or Sam Darnold for the next 5 seasons? Probably Nix. I don't know, man. I always, for whatever reason, I have something against quarterbacks that I used to think sucked and now they're good, but I still think they suck for what, like, I still don't think Sam Darnold's that good. Just because I got this like thing in my head that he's not good. Haven't heard yet from me my preferred candidate for 2028. I mean, I guess Vance. I'm not going to sit here and predict on who it should be. I think that the administration has to play out before I can really give it. I guess right now it would be Vance though. But really, what I say doesn't matter. Right now, Trump controls the entire party. If Trump wants Don Jr. to be the candidate, it's probably going to be Jr. I mean, Trump just controls everything right now within the Republican Party when it comes to who the base supports. And obviously he's going to. I mean, he just won the election very easily. That's going to give him even more political power. Leftists were calling Penny a murderer on day one. Yeah, like the rabid ones. I think a lot of the media doesn't really care though, from what I've seen. They're not really not giving BLM much of a voice in this. It seems like they're like, yeah, this was probably defense. He's a groper. He's constantly kissing up to Nick and the gropers on X. Is he? Do you think there's going to be another blue wave? So in soon, you mean in 2026? I think it's going to be hard for them based on the elections that are going to be happening and the ones that aren't. It's really going to be hard for there to be a blue wave in 2026. A lot of the states that they could flip they're not having elections. Just like how Rogan is a conservative, lol. Yeah, I mean, Rogan has conservative tendencies. To be honest, I have not listened to Rogan in a while, but I would imagine, to be fair, I mean, Rogan was kind of, when I was listening to him, he had like 90% conservative talking points and then like a little bit liberal. But I would imagine he's probably even more conservative now. That was like 2 years ago. Minnesota Vikings fan here, Bo Nix. Yeah, Bo Nix has the upside, I would say. But I mean, Darnold's been good. Best bull bet the season: Memphis -1, West Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia's coach got fired, Neil Brown. Vance, as of now, is the best choice, in my opinion. Many of my left-leaning friends even admit they like him. Yeah, I mean, well, Vance is just the VP, and if Trump likes him, he's going to be the pick. Is there a verdict on the Penny case? Yeah, he's guilty, man. He's going to jail for life. BLM is celebrating. No, I'm just kidding, man. Not guilty is the verdict. Did you know that 44% of people voted against gay marriage proposal in Super Blue Hawaii? LMAO. I think I saw that from someone said that, and it got a bunch of likes on X. They were like, "This is how crazy it's fallen." I'm gonna win our bowl challenge. The bowl challenge will probably be tomorrow. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'll do a video on it, and people can join it tomorrow. I'll shout it out in a video and do my predictions tomorrow. But when it comes to the bowl challenge, what would it be? Let's actually take a look at this. Let's take a look at this and see. Because how do we want to do the bowl challenge exactly? I gotta take a piss. Where is the bowl challenge? Bowl Mania. I think it's... Oh, there's a bracket challenge as well. Okay, standard, spread, confidence. Probably spread. Probably we got to do spread, I'd say. Why is it so zoomed out, though? Yeah, I gotta look to see some of these people who's out and who's playing and not. But they have like the percent chance on who's like 62% pick, 38% pick. That's kind of dumb. They shouldn't have that. I mean, I guess it makes it easier. Did you see that Houston's offense was even worse than Iowa's last year? That's got to be impossible, man. That has got to be impossible. Iowa's offense was so bad. Rogan is 100% conservative. IDK, why people were surprised he endorsed Trump. Yeah, I agree. That was kind of a weird thing where people were shocked. But Rogan was kind of a... I mean, how do you endorse someone the day before the election? That seems like kind of a half-ass endorsement, honestly. Rogan previously supported Bernie. Yeah, I mean, but if you like listen to what he said about Bernie, a lot of it was like very simplistic, like, oh, he says the right things and he's for people, and I don't know, man. It really didn't seem like he supported him all that much. I know he said he would vote for him and stuff, but it was like more of a hypothetical thing because he didn't have to vote for him. When you don't have to vote for someone, it's easier to say I'd vote for him. You're putting $100 on Notre Dame to win it all? I mean, they have a chance. Can I join it? Well, anyone can join it when I do it. I'll just look for the video tomorrow. All right, guys, that is going to do it for this live stream. Baylor versus LSU is a fun bowl game. Yeah, that is a really fun bowl game because Baylor's played really good, and LSU is always kind of like an offensive team. They give up points, but they'll score. Joe Rogan just likes populists. I feel like so many people are like that. Just older people are the only ones not. Well, I guess Rogan can be classified. What is he, like 55? Celebrity endorsements. Yeah, celebrity. What's Discord link? Just go to my community page, and it's the first thing, the first post, and that link is active. The Discord link's on my community page. All right, guys. I'll see you guys.